This is Attorney Chaparali for an update on UNNJ cases, but I'm going to talk about voluntary departure, which is something sad, but which is something that needs to be considered by the UNNJ students or cases. Depending on your situation, it might be a good option. First of all, I'm going to talk about pre-hearing voluntary departure, which is an option that you can take and will not trigger what we call the tenure bar under the INA section 212A9A, and that is an option to be considered if you don't have any other relief such as asylum, U visa, or marriage to a US citizen, or other options, you name it, like reinstatement, etc. This is one option that might many people might want to take because they have already been issued a notice to appear, and it is important that you don't neglect that, because without that you are going to have a problem. What is voluntary departure is basically avoiding a deportation, kind of, by yourself availing to depart on your own. I have a full article on voluntary departure here on this page, and I put a link in there. It is a discretionary relief that is decided by the judge, the immigration judge, and usually the way it works, you will go to court and you can request it, and once you request it and the government doesn't oppose it, or even if the government opposes it and the judge finds it fit to let you depart, they will let you depart. And the thing that you will have to meet in order to do the voluntary departure is at the master calendar hearing. Whenever you have this NTA, there will be something called a master calendar hearing, which is the first hearing, like the pleading hearing in criminal cases, where you basically will have to make a decision if you want to plead or ask for more time, or you're going to want to depart. And in this case, involuntary departure, you are planning to leave. So the things that you will have to do, for one, you have to withdraw all your requests for relief. So if in case you have put another relief like an asylum or another petition reinstatement, you'll have to basically request that this be removed. You have to concede removability. That means basically you have to accept that you are removable from the United States, and you have to waive appeals of all the issues. So you cannot come back and appeal on those issues that you have mentioned before. You have not been convicted of an aggravated felon, and you are not a security risk. That's very important because right now they are doing those checking. If you are convicted as an aggravated felon, and you are not a security risk, then they will give you probably the voluntary departure, also known as VD in our jargon. And you have to show by clear and convincing evidence that you have the ability to depart. So, for example, in the case, you have to show that you have the means to pay your tickets and to leave. And one important thing, if you have a situation where you have accrued more than 180 days of unlawful presence but less than 365 days, you will not be affected by the tenure bar in a voluntary departure. But if you have accrued more than 365 days of unlawful presence, then you might want to consider your other reliefs such as asylum, marriage to US citizen, or U visa, or anything available instead of taking the voluntary departure. Bottom line, the voluntary departure is not difficult, but at the same time, it's not easy because it's done in an immigration court. So we highly recommend that you hire an attorney to represent you there. And before you do even consider the voluntary departure, I would recommend that you talk to a good lawyer for help. You can reach us at 510-742-5887. Sorry, here I forgot a zero. 510-742-5887, and we will be glad to kind of assess if voluntary departure is a good option for you. Unfortunately, this is something that we cannot ignore at this point, so I would recommend that you check on that. And again, this is just part of the voluntary departure picture. There are other kinds of voluntary departure, which is post hearing, etc. I'm not discussing this here, And if you have any questions when it comes to immigration or any issues that are related to the UNNJ and you want to do a consultation, feel free to call our office at 510-742-5887. And everything I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. There's no attorney-client relationship created by this video or this article unless a retainer is signed by the attorney and the client. Please subscribe to our channel for more information. We wish you all the best and good luck to all the students.